Welcome back, Wolfpack. Villas here. I had one job to do, schedule Fan Fridays properly, and I messed it up. So I'm re-recording this video just so you guys, don't worry, Fan Fridays is on, it's still going. I just accidentally scheduled everything a day later, and then I slept in, and let's just get to the battle. So opponents bringing out Hydreigon and Talonflame versus the Gothitelle Dedenne. Is this like Pachirisu in a way, you know? Except Dedenne has Cheek Pouch. It doesn't have Volt Absorb or any kind of shenanigans like that. Also, I think it's like slightly less tanky, if not substantially less tanky. So U-turn comes in, even that not very effective U-turn from Talonflame, doing a decent amount of damage, and then Kangaskhan hits the field, which doesn't make sense at first, but it kind of makes a lot of sense, like, you know, getting that free switch into Kangaskhan, and then Hydreigon is going for the Dark Pulse. Now, because Dedenne went first, that just kind of tells us that it's either Life Orb or Choice Specs, and since we didn't see any Life Orb damage, that Choice Specs Hydreigon was just expecting to blow up Gothitelle while getting some free chip damage onto Dedenne and then switching into Kangaskhan. So it was kind of a very over-anticipated move, but a rather optimized move, except that, you know, Dedenne wasn't supposed to have Eerie Impulse, and Gothitelle was supposed to get knocked out for the play to work, so it doesn't really work out too well. But hey, that's what we got. So Dedenne now goes for the Entrainment. Entrainment is going to remove Parental Bond, thus taking away a good chunk of Kangaskhan's damage, and because it switched into the Charm, Kangaskhan's not looking too good. But that return is still going to be a decent amount of damage onto Dedenne. So here's what makes Dedenne so strong. Citrus Berry, healing it back up into green, but then almost getting all of its health back after Cheek Pouch. Cheek Pouch heals 33% of the Pokemon's health, so that plus Citrus Berry is almost 60%. That's kind of absurd, so it can get a lot of heal back. Eerie Impulse going to go onto the Hydreigon, and then we have Crunch coming onto the Gothitelle. So Gothitelle not taking too much damage from that Crunch. Hydreigon with the Dark Pulse though, it's going to be enough damage, and that's going to make Gothitelle faint. So then Mawile hits the field, and now there's a lot of things, like Kangaskhan's really frail. Hydreigon, like Kangaskhan has almost no attack right now. Hydreigon is also in a bad position because it's spec'd into something that, like, it's choice locked, and it's kind of really low on attack. So now Aegislash comes in, Mawile Mega Evolves, and Kangaskhan stays on the field. It's like, I guess doesn't want to switch Talonflame into a Dedenne, not expecting what it's capable of. But then it's going to throw out the Nuzzle, and now Kangaskhan has all those attack drops. I think it's at -3, while being paralyzed, while not having its ability. And then Mawile gets his Swords Dance because of that switch. I think that's why Kangaskhan didn't want to switch, because there's a lot of free things that could happen. So Sucker Punch is going to land onto Aegislash. That's going to be an immediate KO. And Kangaskhan is going to eat the Eerie Impulse, I guess, you know, just in case Hydreigon stayed in, just in case something happened, maybe the opponent switches around, I don't know. So return, still going to be a decent amount of damage, almost like even for what Kangaskhan suffered. Dedenne still staying above half, and Eerie Impulse back onto the Hydreigon. Hydreigon not carrying too much damage anymore, and Earth Power is going to hit Dedenne, and it's going to be enough to finish it off. So Dedenne finally goes down, but it's done a good amount of work, and then Play Rough is just going to say no to Hydreigon. Hydreigon's down, and now Kangaskhan can't switch out because opponent's down to the last Pokemon, so it's really stuck into doing whatever. So return, not really doing anything to Mawile. I guess like Kangaskhan is just almost straight up out of options to a degree, that we're not seeing too much damage. So Talonflame going to bring Brave Bird as well onto the Aegislash. No, actually onto the Mawile. Going to try to hit Mawile as hard as possible. Guess trying to avoid the Aegislash. And Mawile throwing out the Sucker Punch. So now there's just a lot of mind games going on, it seems. That Aegislash throwing out the Sacred Sword onto the Kangaskhan. Talonflame trying to use that priority Brave Bird to negate the Sucker Punch. Kangaskhan barely surviving, and then throwing out the Crunch on the Aegislash. Now, I'm not expecting too much damage because we already know it's pretty low. Not a lot. Does lower Aegislash's defense, but I don't think that matters by this point. So Aegislash just going to play it safe, goes into shield form, going to get that protect. Mawile I guess it's just going to say screw it and go for like some kind of hit on the Talonflame. It's already at +2, so I don't think it matters. And it looks like it's a choice Talonflame, or else it could have been going for like the Flare Blitz, but at the same time, I don't think Flare Blitz would have really changed too much. Because, I mean, Flare Blitz would have been more damage, but then the Sucker Punch, Talonflame would have been knocked out, and then Kangaskhan would have been an easy pickup for the Sacred Sword. So this battle ends up having a really weird resolve, just from the way it gets played out. So that's going to be a free Sucker Punch from the Kangaskhan. And since it's paralyzed, you know, if it was trying to throw out Sucker Punch, anything like that, it just kind of falls flat. So, overall, really wild battle. You know, we see Dedenne and Gothitelle being an interesting lead, shutting down some of those outright power that you can bring to doubles. So, really cool battle. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Fan Friday's still now properly on schedule, and I hope you all have a nice day, or at least get ready for some more Fan Fridays.